Hey, what's up, guys? This is Jericho, aka Zeroed In, from YouTube. Bringing you my first commentary video. What I really wanted to discuss in this one was not so much every single kill that I get or every little thing that I do. What I really want to discuss is the general tactics, the general gameplay that you're going to see, so that you can replicate that and so that you can learn from that and possibly make a class like this if you want, or just adapt these kinds of techniques to your own gameplay. So I'll go ahead and start this off. This is a regular team deathmatch game on Ambush. Pretty typical match for me. I'm using my classic Rusher class, which is Silence P90 with Juggernaut. A lot of people like to talk a lot of shit about Juggernaut, but as you can see in my video description, you can see what I have to say about Juggernaut. You know, really, I'm not even going to bother discussing it here because it's just a waste of time. Of course, the primary tactic here with any sort of rusher class is to do just that. You want to rush the enemy, be as aggressive as possible, get right up in their spawn, get right up in their faces all the time, never give them a chance to really catch their breath. However, in order to do that, you need to understand enemy positioning. For example, right here, it's kind of a giant merry-go-round. I rush their side, they rush our side. Likewise, if you manage to get into their base and kill all of them off a couple times over, they will eventually start spawning as far away from you as possible. So it's important to keep that aggression and keep that in mind when you do get in their spawn. So basically, what you really want to focus on is where is the enemy team at all times. You want to be where they are at all times. So once they start spawning away from you, that's when you need to rush and get into where they're at. That was a pretty cleverly placed claymore, by the way. I usually don't die to him, but I gotta hand it to the guy. That was pretty good. Heading back up into this house. Spot that guy, take him out. Now, right here is a perfect example of my sonar tip, the technique, whatever you want to call it. I heard that guy through the fog. I could not even see him, and I knew he was there, so I sprayed and killed him. He was probably looking at his kill cam like, what the fuck? But, you know, that's just how it goes. It's a great thing to do. Pick up my first airstrike right here, and try to pick off a few guys from the window. Got one. I wait till that kind of passes so I can hear the enemies a little bit better. And lo and behold, I see one on this side. I hit fire while I strafe back and forth, left and right, and they will have a very difficult time hitting you like that. You'd be surprised how many people cannot hit a moving target, especially one that's moving back and forth at a pretty quick rate. If they have a weapon like an assault rifle and they're playing on the default sensitivity, they really, most of the time, will not have enough time to react and aim at where your body is, especially if there's any sort of lag or anything like that. Juggernaut also helps with this because they can't afford to get lucky. They have to make accurate shots, and if you're dancing all over the place, you're gonna make that pretty tough for them. Right here, you want to make sure you always take out the far guy first when you're rushing the spawn, because he'll be the one to shoot you in the back. He'll be the one to shoot your teammates in the back and ruin your streak, and that's no fun. So I've already got my second airstrike going, and I think my helicopter manages to pick me up another helicopter. We got my second helicopter, which is always a good sign that, you know, we're gonna win this match. Air superiority is a huge factor in whether or not you will win the match or whether or not you will come back from a very obvious loss. And if you don't believe me on that, you can check my one-man army video, which I think speaks for itself in terms of as soon as I get that helicopter, we come back. So finally, I'm in my ideal position, which is right in their spawn, taking a few guys out right here before they notice I'm here. That right there is a perfect example of how not to aim. You can use me as a good example of that. You don't want to bring up your sights and then drag your sights over the enemy. What you want to do first is focus the enemy in the center of your hip fire crosshairs. The ones that are always on your screen, the little white ones, unless of course you're playing hardcore. Focus them in the center of that first, then bring up your sights as you're firing at the same time, and you will almost definitely hit them. There's a pretty good example of how to do it properly. You can mark a little black dot in the center of your crosshairs if you think that that helps you. Right here I'm taking out a couple more guys with my hip fire technique, which I like to call the Space Invaders technique. If you've been to my website cod4videotips.com, then you'd know why. Or if you've played the arcade game Space Invaders, you'll understand the context behind that. Called in my third airstrike. Almost emo myself right there. I see two guys on the radar right here who've spawned right at the last second for the win. 37-3. That's about a 12-to-1 ratio, a little bit over. Pretty solid match, pretty solid gameplay. I make a few mistakes, but I'm never really afraid to make mistakes because that just allows me to learn more. Which is why I record full matches instead of just montages, because montages are overrated. Nobody really wants to watch clips of you getting even amazing kills, because anyone can do that. Everyone gets amazing kills every now and then, and you can set it to some shitty music that you found online. There's about a fucking billion of those M40 ACOG montages. Nobody really, I think everyone is tired of that shit. People want to watch some good videos that are informative and helpful, and that's why I'm doing this. So I hope you guys found it informative. Thanks again for watching. If you ever need anything, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a message on YouTube, or you can even add me as a friend on Xbox Live. I accept all friend requests, and every now and then I will play private matches with people. My gamer tag is Jericho87. The O is a 0. It's all one word. So thanks again for watching, guys. See you later.